Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, I will be introducing my research thesis titled From Plastics to Pixels, Empowering Circular Action Through Website Design. So I'm going to reserve the first 5 minutes of this presentation for talking and then the last five for any questions. And near the end of my speech, I welcome everyone to follow the QR code and connect with me on LinkedIn, especially if you have any further questions. So I'd like to begin with my background. As you know, we live in a linear, consumption-driven economy, which generates unsustainable waste that harms our climate, ecosystems, and human health. The circular economy model, or CE, offers a solution to the linear model by promoting strategies extending product lifespans through refusing, reusing, repairing, and more. Repurpose Whidbey is a local zero waste nonprofit started on Whidbey Island, and they're developing the Wasteless Whidbey website, abbreviated as the WWW, to educate our community and promote circular economy practices and behaviors. Because the island is so isolated from the mainland, there's an urgent demand for solutions due to the emissions generated in the waste transportation process, as seen in Figure 1. This map highlights the distance waste travels, beginning on Whidbey Island all the way to Everett Transit Station by boat, and then to Roosevelt Landfill in South Central Washington, over 360 miles away. Considering these factors, this study offers a framework for website design that encourages circular economy behaviors and supports sustainability solutions. Therefore, my thesis is as follows. By designing digital tools with clear and persuasive messaging, prioritizing the user experience, and employing calls to actions, websites like the Wasteless Would-Be can drive individual action toward the creation of circular economies. This study is a multi-method investigation, which incorporates the recurring meetings and questionnaires with Repurpose's founders, which informed recommendations and research direction. I conduct the interview with members of Repurpose sisters companies for the people and Kicking Gas, which help gauge the access to technical support and input expertise. The technical foundation was laid with analysis of credible literature and my daily internship research. And finally, the study was strengthened with the meetings with my faculty advisor, David Ribes, who is a professor in the Human-Centered Design and Engineering Department at the University of Washington. So now I want to move on to the results of my methods. This first section outlines the general principles that are recommended when creating sustainability tools based on expertise of the technical team and faculty advisor. First and foremost, the awareness to action framework is a key to moving the audience from becoming aware of an issue, then becoming personally concerned, and eventually taking action on the subject. Also, digital tools should emphasize a personal and emotional connection to the circular economy, and they should draw inspiration from other successful websites. There should be opportunities for civic and community engagement that allows the transition towards the action phase, such as a panel with local government phone numbers or upcoming events on the island. Also, as the digital tools can build credibility and trust by citing information, using anecdotal success stories, and being transparent of practices. So now this second portion comes from my literature analysis and begins with Sorry, still on the slide. So the second portion comes from literature analysis and begins with the key best practices in web design, which are as follows: intuitive navigation, accessibility features, interactive elements, readability, and simplicity. The role of visual aids is crucial and should be used to simplify and portray complex ideas, improve navigation, and grab the audience's attention. In general, aiming for a low ink-to-data ratio for both visuals and text prevents the interface from being too convoluted. And now to conclude this section, it's important to appeal towards a wide audience through relatability, mission statement, and an about section. Now moving into the recommendations tailored specifically to Repurpose Would-Be, which are based on the input from the organization founders, our regular team meetings, and the internship, I believe they should continue building on the new website, the hosting platform, Squarespace. This comes from interviewing members who would be assisting in the development and overall giving a limited technical capacity and time. If additional support is gained in the future, the Wasteless Would-Be could consider alternative CMSs like WordPress. The large quantity of material information could be easily embedded using an outside database software, and the team should explore plugins which provide design capabilities and certain elements that Squarespace may be unable to provide. Next, the rating system is going to be an ideal information carrier and a key component of the website. So as pictured in Figure 2, there should be consistent evaluation, a low ink-to-data ratio, and clear indicators for each ranking. Also, icons that signify categories create the clear visual connection for the audience. Now, it's important to leverage the Wasteless Would-Be on social media and connect with relevant organizations to minimize outreach or maximize outreach, sorry. Although through interviews, I believe pertinent organizations may include but may not be limited to For the People and Community Gearbox. It may also be important to reassess the disposal practices, namely TerraCycle and out-of-county transport of waste, and re-examining this could ensure alignment with ethical and transparency standards that Repurpose has set. This comes from conversations with sustainability experts and people within the sustainability governmental space. Also, while in conversation with David Rebs, I believe it is important to create original licensed content for the material images, which can be done by hiring a brand photographer, ensuring no copyright infringement. These results offer an adaptable set of principles to guide the initial phases of web development and translate organization goals into actionable steps. Following these recommendations will ensure a clear and persuasive website, one that is user-centered and one that allows attention to flow from awareness to action. So, while the study is locally focused, it speaks to the global relevance of community-driven circular economy. Because waste itself is a systemic and deep-rooted issue, solutions must address the institutional and localized dimensions. Fortunately, digital tools have the power to address both of these components, enabling the shaping of real-world behaviors and cultural norms. Websites extend outside of the digital realm, which is highlighted in this figure 3, and this image features myself in the middle next to Repurpose's founders, Joan and Derek. Their events and dedication have already impacted the lives of would-be islanders, and I'm so eager to see the positive impacts following the launch of the Wasteless Would-Be. Even outside of Would-Be Island, the study's framework is adaptable across different communities, sustainability niches, and digital platforms. This study showcases the power of small, value-driven efforts in inspiring hope for a sustainable future. And finally, I'd like to give an enormous thank you to my site supervisors, Joan and Derek, my faculty advisor, David Ribes, and my friends and family for the support in my academic career. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my speech. And if you'd like to connect with me on LinkedIn, I have my QR code and my username right here.